Imagine a valley carved by flowing waters, nestled in mist-clad mountains. Communities here have long lived in close harmony with nature, relying on tiny tributaries, subsistence farming, underlit homes, and long distances to essential services. Now envision a transformation: roads, schools, hospitals, consistent light at night, opportunity. This is the promise of Tato-II, a 700-megawatt hydroelectric project approved by the Indian government in August 2025 in the Shur-Yomi district of Arunachal Pradesh, with an investment of 8,146.21 Indian rupees crore. Over the next 6 years, Tato-II aims not only to generate clean energy, but to bring significant infrastructure upgrades, social development, jobs, and hope, especially for people living in remote hill settlements. It's a project that stands at the intersection of energy, environment, and human lives. In this video, we'll walk through what Tato-II is, what it means for local people, how it fits into India's energy vision, and what challenges lie ahead. Let's look at the facts. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, CCA, chaired by the Prime Minister, approved this project in August 2025. It has an estimated investment of 8,146.21 Indian rupees crore. Location: Shur-Yomi district, Arunachal Pradesh, in the far northeast, hilly, often remote. Capacity: 700 megawatts, configured as 4 units of 175 megawatts each. Annual generation expected: 2,738.06 million units (MU) of electricity. Timeline: completion in 72 months, that is, about 6 years. Policy and power sharing: Arunachal Pradesh will receive 12% free electricity from the generated power. In addition, 1% of power will go to the Local Area Development Fund, LADF. The project will be implemented as a joint venture between NEEPCO, Northeastern Electric Power Corporation Limited, and the government of Arunachal Pradesh. Infrastructure and community investments: enabling infrastructure like roads, bridges, transmission lines. Budgetary support of 458.79 Indian rupees crore from Centre. Central financial assistance: 436.13 Indian rupees crore toward the state's equity share. Local infrastructure: about 32.88 kilometers of roads and bridges, mostly for local use. Dedicated 20 Indian rupees crore fund for hospitals, schools, marketplaces, playgrounds. Numbers tell one part of the story, but the heart of the story lies in what this means for people. 1. Reliable electricity equals a transformative change. For many in Arunachal's remote valleys, power is unpredictable. Nights are dark, cold, children study by dim lanterns, health clinics can't run basic equipment reliably. Free 12% power, plus LADF support, will help households, clinics, schools, everything from refrigeration for food and vaccines to lights for study and health. 2. Infrastructure that opens up the region. The project will build roads and bridges, almost equals 32.88 km, which aren't just for moving materials, they connect people to markets, to hospitals, to schools. These roads mean less travel time, more access to goods and services, emergency help in times of crisis. Over time, they help reduce isolation, enable tourism, trade, cultural exchange. 3. Social services, schools, health, recreation. With 20 Indian rupees crore set aside for essential infrastructure like hospitals, markets, playgrounds, schooling, the region can also expect better services. Imagine a child walking to school over hills, now having a decent school closer by. Clinics that can serve with basic facilities. Playgrounds where children can gather, community spaces where people can meet. Jobs, local economy, skills. Joint venture ownership, local contractors, and SMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises will be involved. The construction, operation, maintenance will create direct and indirect employment. Suppliers of materials, food, transport, laborers, many will get income they haven't had before. Over 6 years, the multiplier effect can transform local economies. 5. Environmental and energy benefits. Clean energy. Hydro is renewable, especially compared to fossil fuels. Generating 738 MU annually may help reduce reliance on coal or diesel backups. The electricity also contributes to national grid balancing, supporting energy security. It aligns with national goals, like Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, to build domestic capability. No large infrastructure project is without challenges. To make the promise real, several things must be handled carefully. Here are the obstacles and considerations. 1. Environmental impact. Ecosystem disruption. Rivers, forests, biodiversity in Arunachal are fragile. Damming affects river flow, aquatic life, fish migration, sedimentation. Forest cover loss. Construction, road access, power lines may lead to deforestation, land slippage, fragmentation which harms flora and fauna. Seismic risk. Arunachal is in a Himalayan/tectonic sensitive zone. Geology demands rigorous safety design. Downstream effects. Rivers not just local, downstream water users, communities, agriculture depend on flow, quality. 2. Social and cultural impacts. Displacement and land acquisition. Even if small, land must be acquired. People may lose farmland, grazing grounds, forests they depend on. Livelihoods. People dependent on fishing, forests may lose access. Alternative options must be provided. Traditional knowledge and culture. Communities in Arunachal have deep cultural ties to land/water. Disruption may affect rituals, identity. 3. Governance, implementation, monitoring. Ensuring transparency in compensation, contracts, finance. Skilled workforce. Ensuring locals are trained and involved. Environmental clearances, periodic audits. Safeguards for climate resilience. Changes in rainfall, glacier melt, etc. 4. Access, equity and benefit sharing. Free 12% power is great, but ensuring that the electricity actually reaches remote villages at affordable cost is another matter. Transmission, last-mile connectivity. Local Area Development Fund must be properly managed such that local needs are reflected, not top-down. Ensuring employment is local, not mostly imported labor, unless there is capacity building. To understand Tato-II fully, we need to see it in the broader national, regional, and global context. India's renewable energy ambitions. India has committed to increasing clean energy share, reducing carbon emissions. Hydropower, especially in the northeast where rivers are abundant, is a key part of that strategy. Northeast development and strategic importance. The Northeast has long lagged behind in connectivity, infrastructure, and economic development. Projects like Tato-II provide not just energy but a statement, investing in the periphery, integrating remote areas. NEPCO and state partnerships. The project is under a joint venture between a central entity and the state government, showing cooperative federalism. Investments in infrastructure, roads, bridges, are central government supported. Local and national grid stability. 700+ million units of electricity annually not only helps the state, but contributes to the national grid, especially during peak demand times. This can reduce reliance on polluting sources elsewhere. Alignment with policies. The project aligns with Atmanirbhar Bharat, Self-Reliant India. Focus on MSMEs, local suppliers, employment. Let's imagine or draw from realistic voices to illustrate what Tato-II might mean to real people. If doing videos podcast, insert interviews or vox pops. Voice of a farmer, Apong Valley. For years, I have carried vegetables to the market on foot, 2 hours one way, with no guarantee of rain or water for irrigation. If this road comes, if lights come, we can store food, run pumps, send children to school with light, life will change. Voice of a school teacher, remote hamlet. At dusk, children gather near the one lamp or candle. Many leave school early because they cannot study after sunset. When electricity comes, even 12% free, imagine them learning, reading, dreaming. Voice of a young woman wanting skills. I want training, work. If there is a project like this, maybe I can be part of construction, maintenance, or services. It keeps youth here, brings opportunity. Elders speaking about culture. The river is part of our story. We welcome progress, but hope the river is respected, the land kept safe, forests not lost. That the water we need remains clean and flowing. To ensure Tato-II delivers what it promises, there are key prescriptions. 1. Rigorous environmental and social impact assessments, ESIA. Independent audits. Transparent disclosure. Continuous monitoring. Participatory planning with locals. Local councils, tribal bodies involved in decision on compensation, land, usage. Local voices included in deciding what roads, health, schools are most needed. Capacity building and skill development. Training programs for local youth for project work, technical, engineering, admin. Encouraging MSMEs for supplies, services to the project. Infrastructure beyond power. Last mile connectivity for electricity. Maintenance of the roads once built. Local healthcare, education improvements. Transparent governance and benefit sharing. Clear mechanisms for how the 12% free power is distributed. How LADF funds are used. Grievance redressal mechanisms. Environmental safeguards and adaptation. Ensuring dam design considers changing rainfall, glacier dynamics. Protecting fisheries, forest areas, wildlife corridors. Community forest rights. Tato-II is more than a power plant. It is a promise of light in homes that were dark, of roads where once only trails, of dreams in young hearts that once seemed far away. If done with care, respect, and inclusion, this 8,000 Indian rupees plus crore investment could ripple across generations. It could redefine what life in Yomi, in Arunachal, in remote northeast, looks like. More opportunity, more voice, more dignity. Yes, risks exist. Nature must be honored. Communities must be heard. But ignoring this chance would be a lost opportunity. Because what we build today, roads, schools, power, shapes the future people will live in. Here's to hoping Tato-II becomes a beacon, not just of energy, but of equity, not just of infrastructure, but of hope. Because when power reaches homes, when roads tie valleys together, when children can stay up under light to learn, that is real change.